Today we finally got our first gameplay reveal of Call of Duty DMZ, and oh my god, the hype for this mode has been real for the last few months, and it's amazing to actually see some gameplay for the first time. In case you missed it, DMZ is Call of Duty's take on the extraction shooter, similar to Escape from Tarkov. Drop in, loot up, and extract or die trying and lose everything. A bunch of COD partners were flown out to showcase DMZ, and of course this is Dr. Lupo, the one and only. We're watching here Escape from Tarkov content extraordinaire right here on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some of his gameplay. There is a lot to talk about, so I think we're going to go through some clips together, and we'll kind of do a react on a lot of things that we're seeing, because all of it is brand spanking new. Now, if I sound a little scuffed as we're going through all this, that's because I had surgery inside of my freaking mouth just 2 days ago, so I sound a little scuffed. I got stuff going on in there. It's not pretty. But that is why. Let's dive into it. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. All right, so they're loading in. And the way the load in works is interesting, similar to Escape from Tarkov. You just get a predetermined spawn point and it just puts you on the map with your squad, and then you got to go figure out where you're going to go. All right, and they're off and running, and we're going to get a decent look at the map here, and you're going to see how many points of interest there are and a lot of things that you can do here on Al Mazrah, which is also the Warzone 2 map if you didn't know. But yeah, look at how big this is. It looks like it's going to be up to 64 players is what the devs were saying at this event. So 64 human players and then a ton of AI. And obviously, as we talked about earlier, the AI do vary in difficulty. So there's going to be some guys that are going to hit a lot harder with better weapons and more armor, and some with less armor. So we're about to get a taste of the looting system in this. So they're going to come up to this gas station, which, by the way, the cars do have a gas empty meter, so keep that in mind. So you actually get to use the gas stations, which is pretty cool. They're hopping into this gas station, and there's going to be a bunch of just random loot hanging out all over the place. It doesn't look to have any kind of loot rarity, even though some items will have a higher sell value than others. And you'll see how much of the cash value is there. There's the backpack. You can see the cash on the left, and he's got 4 items in there, and there's his loadout there as well. Now, one thing to note is that this cash right here, those items that have a cash value, either you take it in for a mission turn in and try to extract with it, or you are selling those items at the buy stations to gain cash value. And then obviously with that cash value, you can buy whatever items you want from that buy station. So you're really doing a lot of your upgrading of your character in the raid at these buy stations. So it's kind of an interesting play on it. You know, it definitely has a Warzone feel to it after just watching all this for the last couple hours. It really does feel like Warzone, maybe mixed with like Spec Ops, something to that effect. It's really not like Tarkov. It's not like what we thought it was. It is way more like Call of Duty / Warzone than anything else, which of course it should be. And it has that extraction feel to it. I think it's going to be a fun and unique way for players to kind of traverse the Al Mazrah map, kind of the Warzone 2 map, with their squad and experience Call of Duty in a different way. But from the initial impressions, like, I get a little concerned about what I'm seeing with the lack of like long-term motivation to keep grinding it. See, typically with the extraction shooter, there is high risk. And while there is some risk in losing your guns here, there's not this like long-term investment in your stash, your bankroll, and things that you're trying to hold on to, and just really feeling it every single time you go into the raid, that if you die, it's going to be a pretty significant setback for you. And so you're really on edge and feeling that intensity every single moment that you're in the raid. And without a heavy loot table, I'm a little worried about seeing how that's going to play out. However, we're just going to have to wait and see. I guarantee you it's going to be fun. The question is it going to be fun for a long period of time? That's what we're really looking to find out here. It really just comes down to like the progression, like, and how deep that content goes. So this is the main mission screen. Storm the Stronghold, Legion, White Lotus, Black Mouse. So White Lotus and Black Mouse, we saw leaks on those two factions. Look like Legion is another one. And we can see that you've got 3 missions on the left: make contact, locate, scavenge, the informant, and you can see they also pop up on the right as well, kind of like a quest progression. The reward is the pendulum, and that symbol in the upper left of that pendulum gun right there, which looks like to be the scar, is the blueprint symbol. So blueprints look to be in the game, so you find blueprints out in the map and bring them back home, or you get them as mission rewards. And those blueprints, at least in previous Warzone and Call of Duty, went all the way up to like a legendary rarity. You know, there was like a blue rarity, a green rarity. And so we'll probably get some interesting blueprints that will kind of separate your loadout from everybody else's. We also see here at the upper left-hand corner, we've got the armor carrier, which is basically the plate carrier for more damage reduction while you're in raid, similar to just what it is in Warzone. You've also got a gas mask, and we did find that there is imminent gas coming near the end of the raid that kind of engulfs the entire raid, so you have to get out before that's happening, and the gas mask surely will help you there. We've also got kill streaks. There are actually going to be kill streaks in here. It wouldn't be COD without them. We've also got the self-revive, so teammates can pick you up. There is a down but not out state similar to Warzone. And if everyone is dead or you need to pop it, you do have a self-revive as well. And you're going to see that that's definitely going to be coming in handy later on when we show some of the gameplay here. Also notice the small backpack and the keys. You can bring in items that you have from your stash. And then we've got the loadout down below. We've got the 2 weapons, the tactical, the lethal, and the field upgrade. The tactical, lethal, and field upgrade, you just have access to all those items and you can then kind of just use them however you want. However, the guns themselves, both those slots are part of a limited inventory, so that's the items that you'll lose when you die. So you've got a stash that is holding all of your contraband items, the guns themselves that you have taken from the raids or from mission rewards, and then you also have a separate stash for your keys. And these keys are used to access the more difficult areas that are controlled by AI, strongholds, where there are going to be bosses and higher tiered enemies that you need to kill, and then take all the loot from those areas. Presumably, much better guns are going to be there. Now, one thing that we were really curious about, is there going to be a big player stash that we're going to have back at the home base? And it does not look like that. It does not look like DMZ has this huge loot table that we're used to seeing in Escape from Tarkov or the Psycho Frontier, where you're going out and grabbing a ton of items and bringing them back and kind of keeping them for future mission turn-ins or upgrading guns or making armor, those kinds of things. That's what we're used to, kind of having this higher loot table. It does not look like that's going to be the case with DMZ, which basically makes it more like Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone and Hunt Showdown, where there is not really a loot table to speak of, and it's more about the items that you're bringing in and using those to your advantage and trying to clear the area and come back. So here we see Lupo going up to one of the POIs here, and this is just like another one of the many things that looks like you can do here, and this is like a UAV tower that you can activate, and obviously it's going to ping a UAV radius off of this tower and see what's up in the area. I know the time is running low for them. They have the exit ping. They're looking to get out. There's also this weapons case, this case right here. And it's definitely something that is a key interest for all the squads when they're out in the raid. And this weapons case looks like it just got picked up by an enemy team. You can see the red car, the red truck in the upper left-hand corner on the minimap. So it looks like they're about to run up on a squad here. And it looks like this is a convergence of 2 3-man squads. And you're going to get a sense for the time to kill right here. Look at how fast he goes down right there. And it's hard to tell if he had plates in right there because he's got his webcam blocking that specific spot. But the time to kill is definitely Call of Duty fast for sure. You're definitely going to want to be ADSing more frequently than you might think. And I love the aggression here, but he's gone. And Landmark's going to come in here and try and save the day. And let's see how it goes down. He's going to give him a little hit here and there. He downs one. And we're trying to get the res off. And what do we got? Boom, saved. We see some stuff in the ground. Weapon case stolen. That was them picking it up. So they did wipe that squad. And now they're going to try and push towards their evac, which is right here. That green smoke that you see is the evac coming in. And they're ready to go, man. They got some AI down by this observatory. They're going to clear out and push towards evac. They're right there. We got the pad. Home free, no problem. Low on ammo, though. Ammo does look like a sitch. You've got to keep looting for that ammo. It does not look like you bring in any extra ammo with you. You literally find... You have a reserve ammo, and then you find the rest of your ammo while you're out in the raid, which is kind of cool. And boom, one tapped. Probably a DMR. I didn't really see any sniper flare there that you might typically expect to see. Yeah, this is like an ACOG basically. And that's the SAB. That thing's nice. A lot of those marksman rifles are one-shot headshots, at least in the multiplayer. And there it is. They just got swarmed. Now they're all down. 2 were thirsted, and Lupo was still alive. So awaiting either a self-revive. Obviously the team was dead, so it was over. GG's. So I wanted to go show you guys this part as well. I thought this was really cool. This is one of the strongholds. So this is one of those heavily AI controlled areas that has some good stuff in there that requires key access. So they found a key to this police academy, and now they're using it, and they are going to hop in, and you're going to get a real sense of how highly tuned the AI is here. Those boys, just that one AI just dropped Landmark and Dr. Lupo in a single clip. And I mean, I think we both know that Dr. Lupo and Landmark know how to wield a weapon in a first-person shooter. So that just goes to show you how strong the AI is in some of these areas, which I think is going to be kind of a fun challenge. It's almost like a raid in Destiny, sort of, where you have like this really hard content within within the zone. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. The one downside I would say is it looks almost impossible to do solo. And you know, I'm a big solo gamer myself, so I feel like we're going to be squad filling a lot with this, or playing with the fixed fam, but which is all good. But for all those solo players out there, I think there's probably going to be a little bit piece of your heart broken, I think. But here they are. They're kind of looting this one area. Open the fridge, get the cheap wine. $2.50 for cheap wine? You got to be kidding me. And so it's kind of, you can see how the backpack system works there. It's just literally a flip-flop. So they got that one side cleared. They're going to cross the other way. I guess this key had 2 uses, so they decided to go in through the other side. That one side was already cleared, so now we're going to kind of go in this area. We're going to head up these stairs in a second and see what's up. You're going to see some juicy AI up here. And actually, there's one interesting thing that we're going to see right away, and you can barely see it as they look into the other door. Not the door with the riot shield, but the other one. There is a tripwire in the door. You can see it right there, that white line that was going across. So they've got it bugged. So careful with all those tripwires. That's kind of cool. They got some traps set for the players. I think this content's going to be hard. The question is, what's the reward? Foreshadowing, they die. But what is the reward for clearing some content like this? You know what I mean? So now they've both got down, and then Myth disconnects. And Dr. Lupo disconnects on more than one occasion as well. So the disconnects look like a serious early game problem, but hopefully something that will get patched. I'm sure it will in the early stages of the release. Even with some of those bugs, though, all in all, it was really nice to get a good look at DMZ and just see it in action, you know? God, we've been talking about this. We've been under wraps for so long. It's just great to get an actual look at the game. So really looking forward to playing it. You guys know in my channel, we focus solely on extraction shooters, and we're definitely going to be grinding DMZ. No question about it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. What are you guys' thoughts on DMZ? How's it looking for you? Is it going to be a vibe, a thing that you're going to be wanting to play? I know for me, I'm definitely going to be grinding it hard. So if you're looking for more DMZ content in the future here on YouTube, make sure to drop a sub, and I'll catch you in the next one.